My background growing up, I was working very much outdoors, grew up on a farm, and so doing farm work when I was young. And then once I went off to college, I studied chemistry and then started to work in the brewing industry, and got me really interested in the engineering and the more technical ends of making something tasty for people. But then after college, I really wanted to combine my agricultural interests with the technical, and brewing was not the industry to do that. So I got introduced to wine. And wine really combines all these things that I'm interested in into one. With respect to your second question, so what do you think are the key secrets to making great wine? That is definitely a good one. I think very briefly, it's an ability to deeply understand what balance means in a number of natural systems. So out in the vineyard, in the winery during the fermentation, to listen to your vineyard, to understand the characteristics that it has the potential to give you, and then to understand how to capture that character of the vineyard, sort of like a well-taken photograph in a way. And photography is very technical, winemaking is very technical. The whole idea is just to capture reality. So to get a little deeper, I think wine is a lot like cooking. So you need to start off with really top quality ingredients, which in our case is the grapes. And to make that, you need a certain combination of soil, weather, climate, and environment that people call terroir. And that's the combinations of those things that generally make good wine are known. But to make a truly great wine, sometimes they actually have to be discovered. You never really know how good a site can be until you actually grow the grapes there, taste the fruit, make the wine, and see what the wine tastes like. And so that's kind of exciting, to find the best vineyards, I think, in the world that make the best wines. You can't always plan for that. Sometimes you have to try many things and then finally discover that certain magic combination of place with weather and climate that makes it all happen. So then, assuming that you have that good terroir, the good natural environment, now you have to farm it smartly. So you need to understand what it takes to grow a balanced vine. And there are so many decisions that go into that. Everything from what clones and rootstocks are you going to use when you plant the vineyard, and how are you going to trellis the vines? How are you going to prune them? When, if ever, are you going to water them? How are you going to manage your cover crops? And the list goes on and on. There's decisions from day one, even before day one, before you plant, that you need to make that then you're going to be living with for the next, say, 50 years or more, the life of the vineyard. But if you manage to get all of these great many details right, and you can grow those vines in a very balanced way, they actually don't require a lot of manipulation beyond that, or guidance. They just do what they're supposed to. So it's all about smart decisions up front and watching the result of those guiding your decisions going forward. So that's getting vines, good fruit. Now you have to pick those grapes at the right time, and when the characters of your land, of the terroir, are strongest in the fruit. And that's not always an obvious thing to taste. And in our case here at Screaming Eagle, for ours, the land expresses an unbelievable, perfumey, vibrant purity of flavor. And if you hang that fruit on the vine for too long or too short, then you miss that character, and the wine does not have it. And so you need to be very smart about tasting the fruit and picking it at exactly the right time. And this can be within a day, and plus or minus a day. It needs to be very precise to capture that character of the vineyard. So now you have fruit picked at the right time. You get it into the winery, and you need to make it into wine. And you need to do this as gently as possible to help preserve that intricate character of the vineyard. And there's 101 ways that a winemaker can screw up and lose that quality that he actually had in the fruit. And that's the chief job of the winemakers.